Hello, Leo. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main read, I'm using the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. For the supportive Oracle cards, the Angel Answer cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Alright, I already shuffled the main deck here. Let's see. Let's put them out. Let's see. Usually I do the other side first. I'm assuming that's what's happening here, but this is Leo. Okay, Leo. I don't know what's going on with those, but I feel like we need to do a couple of these. So it seems like your partner's kind of happy. I'm wondering what's going on there, though, because I'm also seeing the attachment card. That's actually what I'm going to... Alright, so things are going on outside of your life. Outside of your relationship with this person. I feel like that's what's causing some issues here. What's holding things back is... For your partner... They're very happy and they seem very content. They like how things are currently going. And that's kind of what I'm feeling from the door to personal healing and happiness. They're very happy where they are and they don't really want things to change. You have indecision on your side, but I don't feel like it has to deal with the actual relationship. There's things that you need to handle outside of the relationship. And you're just not sure, like... how much of an involvement you have to have, how much this is going to pull you away from your current relationship with your partner. And I feel like this is a big concern because you're realizing that your partner's very content with how things are going, but like you're going to have to spend more time away from your partner due to this situation. Let's keep going, because I feel like more might come out about that as we keep going. Now, the situation you're a part of, you do have the man holding a coin here, which don't get caught up in the gender, but this means, like, you feel like this is something you have to do, and I don't feel like this is a new situation, and in the sense of, like, it might have been coming, you might have seen it coming a long way out, but now that it's here, it's like obligations previously agreed to, you're going to follow through on. You've already decided you will, and you're going to. You also realize that this is going to seem to create an issue with your partner. Now, I feel like initially, like you present it that way. I said I'd do this, we knew this was coming, I'm going to have to do some time, it's going to take me away from you for a while. Originally, or off the bat, like it seems like they have a blossoming abundance. Like they're like, okay, that's fine. It seems like they react well initially. And I'm not seeing any like confrontation, but I am seeing like I feel like there's like a competition that happens here. That they're trying to get your attention back. And it almost becomes like a competition for them. But the thing is, you've already made these obligations and you're staying with them. Like, I feel like you're aware of what's going on to a degree, but it's kind of like, I feel like you're trying to pacify both interests. You're trying to pacify your partner and the obligation you're connected with. Now, I'm saying obligation because I feel like some of you, it's like some type of organization you're a part of. Some of you it is work related. Some of you it's family related. Like seems like blood family, and it's like almost like a weekend or family weekend or something, to where your partner for some reason isn't there or can't be there due to work obligations. Something to that effect. This is definitely something that's pulling you away from your partner that they're not included in or not able to be included in. And the weird thing is, like the situation you're a part of, you got the Magician in the Mirror. I don't know if you can see them all the way I'm holding them. Magician in the Mirror, that's this one. You got the Strength card. You have is that the Sun? The Sun card. And then the last card here is Hostilities. Now, the way these all come together is the Magician in the Mirror. Like, I feel like, especially because it's down here at the bottom, you helped create the situation. You knew this was going to come. You wanted to be a part of it. And now it's coming into fruition. The Strength card is like, you said you were going to do it, and you're going to do it. The Strength card means you're not backing down from this. You're not changing. You're not going to, like, think out on it. You said you were going to do it. You helped create it. You're going to do it. Now, the Sun and the hostilities. Like, I feel like you're happy in both arenas, but it's like the competition going on that it seems like your partner's creating. That competition they're creating, it's weighing on you because it's making it hard for you. You can't really do everything at once. But I feel like the hostilities is you're trying to, and you're going to try to, but it's going to wipe you out. It's going to wipe you out. The hardest part of it, I feel like, is like how you feel for your partner. In the spiritual sense, you have the woman holding a heart, which don't get caught up in the gender, of course, like I say a million thousand times. It just means you're very, very nurturing and very connected with how your partner feels, and there's a lot of love for this person, and you don't want to let them down. You also don't want to let down the people that you obligated your time to, so you're kind of like stuck. You'd like to tell your partner, I love you and let's just do things later, but you're realizing that that's not going to work out. Like they seem to be making a competition out of it, and you're kind of like stuck. And you love them a lot, so it's kind of, you're trying to keep them happy while still doing what you need to do. I feel like it's wearing you out, though. I feel like it's really wearing you out. Now, what helps the situation actually goes along with your mental aspect. You have the crown chakra and you have recovery, plus you have appreciation. Now, I feel like you can appease your partner by telling him how much you appreciate it, how much you'd like to do this, and just explaining it, and just explaining how you're feeling drained, but you really have to do these obligations, but how much you love them, and just trying to reschedule things with them. I feel like you have to reschedule things because I feel like they're trying to get you to do things with them more, and they're making it a competition. But at some point, if you don't nip this in the bud in the beginning, there will be a point later on that you're going to have to nip it in the bud because it's going to wear you out. And once you do say that to them, I feel like you're very appreciative to them, and you're like, thank you very much. Can we do this later because it's just wearing me out, and I just want to when I spend time with you, I like to enjoy as much time as I can with you. I don't like to be drained and it just becomes painful to be awake. I like to be with you and enjoy time with you. I feel like you went out with this. I feel like you get them to relent a bit and things get easier for you. All tied up on their side, like I feel like they're really making this like a competition for attention. It really seems, and when you present it this way, and you show them how much you appreciate them, and you kind of push them off a little bit, but not because you want to, because you need to for your own happy, like because you said you'd do something and you're following through. I almost feel like you're kind of reiterating that. Like, if I was the type of person that would just, like, walk away from these type of things, would you really want to be with that person anyway? Like, I feel like you're pleading your case very well. They're feeling all tied up because they're realizing they can't steal your attention back. And they're feeling stuck. They're making plans, but I feel like they get very active with making plans in the future. Like, they try to make sure that they definitely have your attention in the future, and they have you all to themselves as much as possible. That seems to be where they're going with this. The two of these cards together, like they feel like right now what's going on, they can't change what's going on, but as soon as like they see an opportunity in the future and they're just like booking that up for themselves. It's like if they can see your calendar, your agenda, whatever, like 2 weeks down the line, they see some open spots, they pencil themselves right in there right away. Actually, they pen themselves in. They're not making it an option. They're just like, that's mine. This time is mine. And that time too. What, you're free then? Well, that's mine too. Like, I feel like that's what's going on. Like, any opportunity they're seizing, they're taking that opportunity in the future when you have time. but not as much as they are. Like they're relenting for now because they know your time is taken up with this other stuff. They don't want to. They don't want to. But once you push back on them, how drained you're feeling and how tired it's making you, I feel like they're balancing it out because they do care. They definitely do care. They're just having a little. I don't know. I feel like it's a competition for your attention. That's what I feel like is going on here. And especially with this reading, if this is hitting with you, I feel like that's the whole point, to realize it's a competition for your attention. And if you nip it in the bud in the beginning, you don't have to feel all that drained. And you can kind of like just show that if you just show them how much you care and love them, and you really want to be around them, but how draining it is for you to have to compete like this. I feel like they're going to be receptive to that. Not that they want to be, but they're going to realize they need to be because they care. They do. But in the future, be aware that when you have free time, they're going to make sure that they have as much of your free time as they can get. Like, not like now where it's going to drain you, but like if you have an open weekend, they're considered, as far as they're concerned, that's their weekend, and you're with them that whole weekend. Like, that's that. Like, I feel like there's a competition for your attention. I just feel like that's what they do. I feel like that might fit this person. Like, they want your attention as much as possible, and they're going to do what they need to do to get it. Okay, are we good there? Alright, so that is Leo relationships. Let's get into Leo singles. I'm so happy. It seems like I probably should shut my mouth. I have one piece left for fire, but I'm a water sign, and it seemed like the water sign readings were a little bit rough. The fire signs seem a lot easier to me right now. Easier in the sense of like, if they were happening to me, I'd be happier with these outcomes. Because even though, like, with a relationship with the Leo, there's love there. Like, it's just somebody wanting your attention. It's not really a bad thing. Not really. Like, it's not really, like, hostile or somebody trying to get away from somebody like that. It's just somebody wants your attention. It's good to be admired. It's good to be loved. Always good to be loved. Alright, now let's do Leo singles. Leo singles. Leo. Alright, Leo. Now, the reason I'm about this, I wonder if, and I could be remembering wrong, but it seems like last month you had like the what do I really want, having a lot of options, just not choosing one type thing, but not going for an option. Like you could take an option if you wanted to, but just not wanting to, just being in that spot. Because I feel like this is a very by the book. Well, how would I put this? It's by your admission. It's the way you want it to be. Let's put it that way. The situation is going pretty much the way you want it. And no, I get no, so I'll leave that alone. I feel like you have a lot of control here. That being said, where you're standing is you have a lot of options. That's what I'm getting. Like, you got community for where you're standing. Like, I don't feel like you're hurting for options. I don't feel like you're hurting at all. Your mindset is strategy. Like, you're like, who do I really want? But I feel like it's, who can I get to go out with me? Who can I see here? How do I put this? Who's available? Like, I feel like you want to get to know a few different people, and you're trying to find, like, it's like, is the grass greener? I don't know if it's that really either. It's like, I like this one, but I wonder if I'd like that one more. Oh, I like this one too. I wonder if I'd like that one more. Like, I feel like you're just like, you don't want to close the door. You don't want to like, I don't know. You're just trying to see like who's the best fit. And you're just like, you know what? I don't want to cut myself short here. Maybe I should go on a date with this person, see what they're like. Maybe we get along pretty well. Like, it seems like you don't want to stunt yourself. You want to make sure you've given everything a shot before you actually choose someone. Seems like that's what's going on. And you're aware that the people who are coming towards you, they see a lot of value in you. And you see a lot of value in the ones you're choosing. Like, you're not going for second best. I don't get that. If this reading is hitting for you, you're not going for second best. You're going for what you want. You're giving things a shot. Anybody you give a chance to is someone you're seriously considering. Okay. There is someone, though, that's a really good match there. And I feel like there's an affectionate person coming towards you. And I feel like they're very vocal about wanting to start seeing each other exclusively. But I'm thinking you're putting this person off for the meantime. You haven't really given them an answer. Because right now you got the world and you have the solar plexus chakra. Things are going your way. The world is your oyster, and you want to make sure you're not going to miss. You don't want to settle for somebody just because they're showing they're interested. You want to make sure you're actually interested. You want to make sure that somebody else isn't going to grab your attention. You don't want to be in a situation where you're in a relationship and somebody else catches your eye, and you're just like, ugh, if I had just known. That type of, it seems like that's your mentality. Like, I want to make sure the one I choose is the one I really want. Seems to be where this is really, really locked into. And you're very active about finding that out. You're out there trying to get to know people, and I feel like you're having a good time getting to know people. You're just like making sure like whoever you choose, like that's who you really want to be with. You don't want to end up in a relationship that like 2 or 3 months down the road, you're like, you know what, this really isn't for me, and you move on. So you're trying to be careful about who you choose. Now, this being said, going in the future, I'm getting this person, whoever this person is, seems to pop back in. And I'm getting like the Healer of Ages is kind of like they're saying, like, are you interested or not? Because if you're not really interested, I'm going to move on. And I feel like you kind of get them to hold off for a moment. I almost feel like a lot of you are going to like be like in the sense of, let's go out to like an event or a date, and it's like a week or 2 out. I feel like you're scheduling like a date with them, like, well, let's talk about it. Let's go out to so-and-so and talk about it, or let's hang out there and then we can talk about it then. You're scheduling something a little farther out to give you time to think about it. I feel like you're being very smart and strategic. You got that in your mental aspects. I feel like you're scheduling something a little farther out. The Healer of the Ages, though, this is like this person that's coming at you again. They're like, before they move on, they want to make sure you're not interested, and you're just like, and I feel like you're standing in a spot like, I never said I wasn't interested, I'm just not ready to make a decision. But they're basically saying, I'm not waiting around forever, either yes or no, and if you're not, and a maybe is a no. Like, if you can't make a decision, I'll make it for you and I'll move on. That seems to be where that's where they are, and that's how they're coming towards you. That's why you do this, like, I feel like it's like a week, 2 weeks if possible. You're scheduling something out, like, let's get together then, and then we can talk about it, and, like, just hang out and see what we think. And I feel like you get them to agree to it. Like, you present it like you'll have more time then, and blah, 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 and you're like, oh, I'd like to really talk about this with you. Can we get together and go to blah, blah, blah in 2 weeks? Something like that. It feels like that's what happens. Now, before that event, you have the Thinking Man and Reconsider. Now, what are you reconsidering is the question. The way it looks to me is like, I feel like you're considering like this might be a good relationship for you. Because it seems like you almost moved on from it the first time this person presented it. The first time they presented it, I feel like you came back at them like, well, I'm not ready to make a decision yet. Let's just hold off for now. And they might have kind of moved on they might have seemed like they moved on, or they might have started to move on. But they're coming back one more time just to make sure you're not interested. So this is your chance to think it over. Like, if you want to give this a shot, this is the time to do it. For a lot of you, I feel like this is a good idea to go with it, but it's going to definitely depend on how you feel. In the sense of, like, do you feel like this person is going to be a bit too clingy? Do you feel like this person is just somebody you're going to be interested in for now, and then it's going to move on? Like, you have to make that decision. The reconsider and the thinking man, this is somebody you have to really look at. You have to realize this person will move on if you do not go forward with them. So you have to think, like, do I want this to be a missed opportunity? Or have I decided, you know what, this just really isn't for me anyway? And even though I'm really thankful this person gave me that heads up before they moved on, but you know what, maybe it's best for that to happen. It's definitely in your court. You have to decide whether you want to or not. And I feel like a lot of you are going to kind of like be really kind of in this hard spot where you're just like, I don't really know if I want to be in a relationship just yet. But I don't really know if I want this person to move on, because a lot of you are going to have a real strong connection to this person who's giving you this like one last chance. Like, if you want to do this, let's do it. Otherwise, I'm going to move on. So you're going to be kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, where you really don't want to be in a relationship just yet, but you really don't want this person to pass you by either. So you have to choose. Like, are you going to let this person pass you by, or are you going to give up your single status and see if you can make a go of it with this person? I feel like I don't see like an outcome here. I feel like it's just you really have to weigh it out, which is more important to you. Okay. So that's gonna end this one. That's just basically saying it's. I feel like if you're aware of this coming, like what are you getting? Like, how much are you enjoying being single, and how long do you plan to be single? And this person, do you think if you got into a relationship with them, if that really would have longevity? It's like the sooner you can start thinking about that and looking it over, the easier it'll be when that moment comes for you to make that decision. Anything else? I'm not getting anything else with that. Alright, so I'm going to wrap that up here. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.